The fastest way to do post-production is to achieve the best possible result directly in the viewport of your 3D program and then save a JPE. It's a completely valid method because all programs have some type of basic color grading. If you took care of everything we talked about so far, I guarantee you will have a professional image, even if you stop here. And honestly, I recommend this method to most people. Sometimes it's not even necessary to take it to Photoshop afterwards. Look, this image already has a nice contrast. And it even has the bloom effect here on the lamp. Look at this beautiful thing. And all of this is thanks to our understanding of lighting and contrast. With this main part under control, just use Blender's compositor or whatever grading tool your program has for basic corrections and some effects. In the case of Blender, it's even better because the compositor works in real time in the viewport. Just activate this window, set the compositor to always, and it will work inside the camera and outside the camera in this viewport. We've seen this compositor a few times, but let's talk about it once more. What defines the realism of the image is not these effects, but rather the contrast of the light. With the light curve distributed correctly, these effects from the compositor will only add lens effects and slight color corrections. What do I like to use? A box sharpen for sharpness and a color balance for simple color correction. Now I will even turn it off and on for you to see. And finally, a lens distortion for that chromatic aberration. And a bloom effect like this one on the lamp. And that's it. You can save this image as a JPEG and put it in your portfolio, no problem at all. But look, if you still want to take it to Photoshop, you can, no problem. I will turn off render in the viewport. Go to the image editor and press F12. If it doesn't appear automatically, just look for render result and wait a moment. What we are seeing in this viewport is the result that is passing through the composite node, which is the render result. I can even turn off this other node called viewer, make a cut on this render input line, and draw a straight line, ignoring all these effects from the compositor. Look at how the image turned out differently. This is because it's going straight through. If I raise this line a little just so you can see, look at how it is ignoring all the effects. I will go back to what it was because I like these effects, and that's what I want to take to Photoshop. Just go to Image and then Save As. And here we are in Photoshop with an 8-bit image. But because it is an 8-bit image, you can't make very aggressive changes. The idea here is to apply slight modifications. For example, we can adjust the brightness and contrast using a curve. A general glow without affecting the edges is achieved by just creating a point in the middle and pulling it slightly to the left and upwards. This way you can already get a bit of brightness.
Caso não tenha atingido o contraste ideal direto no render, você pode adicionar uma segunda curva e fazer aquele formato de S.
Obviously, my image already had quite a bit of contrast, so it ended up looking exaggerated. In this example, I will delete it and only keep the first one. Another option is to use the color lookup with very low opacity to experiment with some other colors. With this layer selected, I just select the first one, and then I will use the down arrow. If the effect is too strong, you can go back to the first one and before doing anything, set the opacity to something like 50% first. Then go back and keep pressing the down arrow key. Make mental notes of what you like the most. I, for example, like this one. Make a copy of it, turn off the layer, and go back to testing the others. I like this one too, so I'll make a copy of it. Let's continue experimenting. Even from this greenish one is cool, but that's about it. You can combine them, leave just one, or greatly reduce the opacity. Do as you prefer. I think I'll go with the first one with very low intensity, around 10 or 20%, then turn it on and off to see how it looks. I will delete all the others and keep only the first one.
Talvez a gente
Maybe we can also make a vignette.
quem sabe.
I could have done it in Blender, which is simple, but here in Photoshop, it's even easier.
Você só coloca,
You just add a solid color,
seleciona
select black,
preta e na máscara
and in the mask,
gradiente
add a radial gradient from white to black.
a preto.
Click roughly in the center of the image and drag to the edge.
Como essa imagem é
Since this image is rectangular, I can use the transformation tool, CTLT, and stretch the mask horizontally.
máscara horizontalmente. Diminui
Lower the opacity a bit and set it to multiply.
multiply. Como eu disse, efeitos bem leves,
We are not ruining the image or exaggerating anything.
exagerando nada.
We were already satisfied with the previous result. And that's it, you see, very simple. But since you are a student of 3D Masterclass, you want to have more knowledge, more quality, more everything. Keep watching the next video then.